What's on all? It is Monday. No, it's Tuesday. Blimey. I've got an appointment in Exeter, so I'm going to head over to there. It's not till the afternoon, but I thought I might as well make a little day out of it. Done my listings this morning, just dropped off my parcels to the Royal Mail depot. I've got to go get some fuel, and then we're on our way. It's a lovely drive through the countryside. You can go the M5 way, but it's just boring basically. So I go the back road, and it's really pretty and picturesque, like proper Devon country. So it's a lovely way to start the day. I love a drive through the country, especially on my own, like a proper nice time to have a good old think. I always just find it really relaxing going for a nice drive. And then Exeter normally is quite expensive in the charity shops. Because it's a university town, the prices are normally quite mad. You can still find bits. The last time I went up there, the best three things I found were 3 pairs of Russell and Bromley shoes, and for £10 a piece, and I sold each pair for in between 50 and 65 if I recall correctly. So that's a nice little pickup, all from the same shop. So you can find stuff, but as we all know, I don't need the stock at the minute. But if I find items and they're really good quality at a good price with a good margin for myself, it's silly not to pick it up. As my mate Will would say, it's quote unquote that he heard from another mate, but it always sticks in my head. If you see the stock, then pick it up, because you don't know when it's going to come again. As long as your cash flow's okay and you've got the money to buy it, then why not? Because I've done it a million times where I thought, oh, do I really need it? Bought it, listed it, and it sold really quickly for a really good margin. So it is worth it. You just need to be a little bit picky. As like, for example, I've got maybe 10 St. Michael shirts. So maybe I just won't buy any more St. Michael shirts if I see them, when if I didn't have any St. Michael shirts and I really needed the stock, I would be picking them up. Just little things like that. If I see a Y2K diesel coat with some beautiful embroidery all over it and it's 15 quid and I think I can get 60, it makes sense to pick it up. Just use your head a little bit more with sourcing, but it implements a little bit more excitement because there's no desperation involved. Some young lad just crossed out in the middle of the road then, numpty. Just no point whatsoever, is there? Die for crossing the road 5 seconds earlier. But yes, so it's a nice day ahead. I mean, this is the sort of best days for me. I mean, I love listing, I love wrapping parcels, I love the sales and all that jazz. But when you've got a day like this, it feels like proper freedom, you know. I've got an appointment in my nearest city, and I just head off there and have a look for some bangers before, and I'm gonna go for a spot of lunch. I love the Ivy. It feels like I'm going back to like the 1920s when I'm in there, and it's really good food. It is a chain, but they're always really nice. I've been to one in Edinburgh. I've been to the one in Exeter, obviously. I tend to always go to them because you know what you're getting, and it's a really nice experience. And it's just on the cusp of being too expensive, if you ask me. So I think I'll stop off there and maybe have a steak. Although I do feel guilty going to restaurants without my wife, because I'd rather just take her out than go out by myself. And so I probably won't get anything too extravagant. Maybe just like a bowl of veg or something. Right, I'll get some fuel and then we'll head off. I'm off in a little town called Crediton on the way to Exeter. It's literally like 10 minutes outside. So gonna hit up about 4 charity shops here, nice and quick. And I might grab a coffee. Well, that wasn't too bad. It's pouring down with rain. It's miserable out there. Got a few bits. So I got 9 items and it came to a total of £50.50. So it works out £5.60 a piece. First of all, I got this shot fleece. It needs a bit of a debobble, a little bit of a wash and a bit of work. That was £4, £3.95, but they round it up in a lot of shops now, don't they? And then I got this early 2000s Reebok windbreaker, which is really nice. It's got the built-in hood. It doesn't have a back print, unfortunately, but it was £5.50. And at that price and that condition, it was hard to leave. And then I've got a graphic rhino t-shirt. It's not a mountain, it's a baobab. I think it's just a souvenir piece from Africa, but great big rhino on top on it. It was £3.50. I think there's about a £10 profit in that. Even if I sold it for a tenner, I'd be happy. This is lovely. Some Scotch and soda sells really well, especially the jeans. This is just a t-shirt, but the quality is fantastic. It's £5. I wouldn't be surprised if it was new. That's a rubberized print on there, and the condition is squeaky clean. That was a £5. Really like the colour on that. If it was a size up, I'd probably have it. This is a 1980s St. Michael velvet blazer. Velvet blazers do really well. I've had a couple of these before, but in very small women's sizes and brown. Navy, I think, is a good shout. And because it's a men's 42 regular, I think it will do well. It's £6. I'm going to list that for maybe 26. I'll try and get £20 profit out of that one. I think it might even do a bit more, maybe like 36. A Lacoste polo, it's just a plain one, but it's a new tag. The collar's really good condition. You've got to watch out for the collars on polos, obviously, because they can wear, and when they wear, they're good for nothing. They look really awful. £6. I normally get in between 15 and 20 for these, and they sell quite quick, so it's a good one to pick up. This is arguably my favourite item. It's a Y2K Adidas track jacket, but it's got the embroidery on the arm, which is really nice. There's no prints on it to come off, so it'll wash better, it'll last longer. There's not even any chips on the enamel on the zips. That was £6.50, which I think is very reasonable. At wholesale, you'll be paying £8, and then you probably got to pay VAT. This, I was arguing with myself whether to pick this up. It is Under Armour, and Under Armour is hit and miss whether it sells. It's very saturated, but the condition is so good. It's a lightweight hooded jacket, and I think the style of it, like when these zips come up to just like below the chin or over the mouth, I think they're more desirable. It was £8, which is up there. Realistically, I think I'd be lucky to get 22 quid out of it. But in my head, I just thought the condition is so good, and even if I made a £10 profit on it, I'd be happy. I can imagine it going for about 15 though. That's probably the worst pickup, but there's just something about it I just couldn't leave. The condition was too good. And it's £8 no matter what's a bargain. If it was £6, it'd be a no-brainer. So it was right on the cusp. Any more money, I would have left it. All Saints always does all right for me. This is an oversized t-shirt. It is a men's extra small, but it's not. It's oversized, and it's really lightweight and stretchy. It's got a nice high collar. The pattern's lovely, and it's got the embroidery ram's skull on it. It's a little bit demonic, All Saints, for me. It's a little bit like a demonic ram's head, you know. But it was £6, and I think I'll get 20 for it. So it's not bad. So £50.50 spent. I reckon on average there's about 3 times my money. I think in all of that I'll get roughly £100 back, which is fine with me. Right, on to Exeter now. I didn't get a coffee because I need another pee and there's nowhere to stop. Honestly, I feel like I need a pee every 5 minutes, and when I go it's like, oh, there's a spoon. Oh no, it's not spoons anymore. You know times are hard in towns when the Witherspoons is shutting. Weatherspoons. My wife always says that I say Witherspoons. It's Weatherspoons. Weather. Right, onwards to Exeter. See you in a bit. Right, made it to Exeter. Just gonna have leftover dinner from last night. Got broccoli, veg, got some like yogurt like dressing with it, and got some halloumi. It's absolutely paying. Chow this down. Hit the shops up. It's a nice city, you know. It's like it feels like a big town rather than a city, in all honesty. Excuse me, but it's got everything you need here. It's got quite a nice vibe. It's got a lot of history. There's the old city walls that's still here. I'm gonna go park near it. It's got a lovely cathedral. Yeah, it's nice. I'm not a city person. I'm a country boy. If I can't smell cow poo, I'm not happy really. I don't feel like I'm at home. But Exeter does feel like home. When I was a kid, I used to jump on the train with a mate and we used to come and shop here. Like HMV was here. We used to love that. And Burger King, there wasn't a Burger King where I was. There was just like one McDonald's. There's no KFC. There was a Wimpy, which is still there. It's just moved, and a McDonald's. So we used to get the train up here because I loved Burger King. And not that I do anymore. It's grotesque in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, lovely city. And it's got loads of chazzers, which is banging. So I'm just flying round to this car park, which is like it's like the cheapest, most central car park. If you park like near the high street, it's £3.25 for an hour, and I'm going to be about 3 hours. And if I park just a little bit further out, it's £6 for I think 4 hours, so it's a little bit better. I know it's only a couple of quid, but it's more the principle than anything, to be honest. I really just don't like paying a lot of money for parking. Obviously you go to London, you can pay £15 for an hour, but we're not in London, are we? We're in Devon. And there's just some things I can't justify spending a lot of money on, and one of them is car parking. Checked my phone and it was 11:11 the time, so it's a good sign. It smelt of old Rastafarian Old Holborn. Old Holborn? No, Old Holborn. When I was last walking through there. But yeah, it's a bit rainy. Chazzers are just up here, sort of like splitting the road in between them all. So you walk up this street and then there's a couple of chazzers. You go left, there's a couple of chazzers. You go right, there's the rest of the chazzers. Wish I bought my umbrella, it's in the back of the van, but not in the trenches, are we, bays? Oxfam's getting pricey. My local one isn't too bad. It's like normal prices, just right on the cusp. But that one there, a faded black Nike jumper, £12.99. Like a polyester Adidas t-shirt, £8.99. It's just too much. You look for a few bits and then you realise how expensive it is. It just puts you off, just want to leave. It just ruins the incentive of being in there, to be honest.
Yes, it's slightly, yeah.
This bit's lovely. Beautiful cathedral. Loads of architecture, old shops. Absolutely stunning. I've never actually been in there. All these old buildings around here. It's a lovely bit, this. See that up there, John Lewis. Walking around there would be my worst nightmare. The charity shops in cities are just, I think there's more people, there's less items to be had, and they hike the prices up. Compared to my local towns, I mean, it's just crazy. It really is just mad in comparison. I mean, you can find some proper good stuff in my local towns, but here it's just absolutely mental, to be honest. Really old arcade down here, and they've got a proper nice vintage shop, so we'll go in there and check it out. It's always been lovely, and it's been going since I was a kid. It must have been going for like 20 years, so let's go show them some love. How nice is this? Look, loads of like stereo shops, art shops, clothing shops. There's the vintage shop at the end there. It's really lovely. Artisan boutique shops. My favourite part of the day was going to the vintage shop. It's just the most wonderful curation of stuff. It's like 1920s to early 2000s, I would say. Had some really nice shop jackets. Shop's one of my favourite brands. They had a flight jacket for £88, which I think is crazy cheap. I said to her, you know, I think you could get 140. And she said, I just like to get it in and out. I know what my margin is. I want to give people a good deal and I want them coming back. I mean, I could have bought that and made money off it. I think it was easy, £140, £150 jacket for £88. Absolute steal. She's really lovely as well. And she's been in that shop for 40 years. She bought it off of the previous owner who retired, and then she's been in there since. It's just sounds like she's got all of her suppliers down to a T, as you would do after 40 years. The stock is just lovely, all great condition, absolutely wonderful. Also, I picked her brain about the charity shops and said they're so expensive around here. And she said, well, they would be, wouldn't they? Because they're on Exeter High Street. And then she gave me the name of a couple of little towns that are around the corner. One's a mile away. And she said it's the only charity shop she goes to. It's the best she's ever seen. Because they just get it and they just put it straight out. There's no like picking through it and anything like that. They just get it in and they get it out, and it's all, they don't look up prices or anything like that and eBay comparisons. They just get the stock in from donations and put it out on the rails, and t-shirts are a set price, tops are a set price. So it'd be really interesting to go and have a look at that. So if I've got time after my appointment, I'm going to fly down there. Well, not a bad mission. I went to that place, the little town outside of Exeter, where the owner of the vintage shop said to go, and it wasn't that great. It wasn't, the stuff comes in, we just put it out on the set price. I found one shop like that. Everything in the shop was £3. It was a Sue Rider, but it was all just a load of rubbish. It was all the stuff that they haven't been able to sell. I mean, to send it to a clearance shop and it'd still be £3. I found the odd bit. I found a 90s Next overcoat, £3. I sold one the other day for 22 quid. I got a Guinness t-shirt on a Screen Stars tag for £3. Should get about 13 for that. I thought that there'd be about £10 profit in it. Even if I sold it for a tenner, I'd be happy. The point I got to was I was just picking a couple of bits up to try and pay for my time being there. That's the way I sort of like justified it in my head. But it wasn't the most successful Chazza shop mission. It is much better around my way. I feel very privileged. It's really hard pickings. I must have gone to 20 shops today and I probably picked up about 20 items, which isn't it's not too bad. I was being fairly picky. I'll show you what I got. Well, saying that, I got a couple of bits that are questionable. I got this like hippie wool, heavy wool jacket. It was a £5. It's heavily bobbled, but I'll freshen it right up when I put my debobbler over it. It'll be lovely. I'll probably get about 25 for it. I don't mind doing a little bit of work. Some people, you know, they're not happy with it, but I've got a debobbler and I've got like a fabric scraper to condition it. And I don't mind. It's got a little rip in the inside of the pocket as well, but it's fine. As I say, I was just picking up some bits to pay for my time. Slim pickings. I think that I might hold off for a bit in the Chazzas. I'm literally, I say that though, and I'll just go back there. It won't be long and I'll be back. So I better not make any promises. But what I think I might do is just calm it down for a bit and just focus on my stock. That would be wise, but it's easier said than done for little old Copper Top. And we are home. So the last few bits I got were a Next overcoat. I sold one the other day for 20 something quid. It was £3. This needs a lot of work. It's a vintage wool, like sort of like hippie jacket. I mean, once I've debobbled it, it'll be fine. It was a £5. It's definitely got some age to it. I'd say maybe like 90s. And hopefully someone can give it some love again. It's got some nice patterns down the bottom. It's a little bit like a Montana pattern, like an Native American pattern. What else did I get? Oh, this is cool. This is a 90s, might be 80s Brutus long sleeve jumper. And I got this wool overs knit. It was £3. It needs a debobble, but apart from that, it's really good. I thought £3, you can't grumble for that. I think that's £25 there, easy. And then there's this Guinness t-shirt. I just picked this up because for the sake of it, really. It's Guinness on the front, and then on the arm it says, "Not everything in black and white makes sense, Guinness." So it was a pretty standard haul today, really. If I could go back and know that is what I would have picked up today, I wouldn't have gone to the Chaz's before. I would have just worked and then driven to Exeter. But you never know what you're going to find. I did get some okay bits. The Crediton on the way to Exeter was the best. Exeter itself is quite hit and miss, to say the least. Really expensive prices, and yeah, just not the best stock. Even when I found good prices, it was in like a clearance shop just out of town. I think I might start hitting up little village towns, you know, instead of going to like big cities. But anyway, we are home now, so I'm going to do some listing. I'm going to have a massive coffee and boil some eggs and have a egg mayonnaise sandwich, and then get some work done. Nice one for watching all, as always. I will see you all on the next one.